Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Cyclist Tactics. We're on episode 17. Last time out, we went through a classic race and came out with a somewhat less than desired result, but it was still a top 10, so it was worth some points. We made some progress, and we also did enough for Vladislav Pavlov to level up. So now level 2, our prospect for the future, that 1 out of a potential 11 levels Pavlov finally progresses into level 2, and we do get a couple options on what to do. Now, I think one obvious one is his weakest thing here, besides recovery, is his overall energy. I think those are the first two that we need to address. I'm going to start with the energy, because 71 is a huge jump from the 64, and as a domestique, I think that's going to have a bigger impact than the recovery, though after maybe even one more level of this, then we can start focusing on bringing up the recovery and making him better than just a one-day kind of racer. But the big thing here is we have a specialization point to add. Where do we put it? What do we do with it? Well, do you want a better climber? I mean, that's certainly not a bad thing to have a better climber. Or do we want to add a point in flat? If they're a domestique, a point in flat can be very, very handy in being a workhorse to try to keep things under control, especially if and when, as it's been known to happen, mistakes are made in misreading how things go. So let's go ahead and put a point towards flat. I think that's going to be very helpful for us. From there, we don't have to have additional points in flat, but it's a good start point for us. So I'm recording this back to back with the last episode, and I left that last episode a little frustrated, and I'm still in that. It's only minutes later, so I haven't been able to see the comments to fully understand what I don't get about the mechanics of this game, and therefore I could run into the same problem in this one as I did in the last. Hopefully we don't. I pushed one group too far forward and missed a move right at the end. That cost us at least 4 places in the overall standings and bumped us down to 9th instead of potentially getting a bit higher, maybe getting 4th place. This time we're going to have to try to see if we are in the right place, can do the right thing. I don't know. I think I see the opportunity out there for something. And we'll go for that. 361 nodes, almost totally flat. There's a couple little tiny blips that are hills along the way. Otherwise, it is very, very flat in this one. So we'll see how this goes. It's our last sponsor objective of the year, so we need something. But we also have Howard on a negative. He's on a recovery period right now after his recent races. And look at this. Howard's been in every race so far this season. Next race is the only time that he's getting off. Yikes on that one for him, but hopefully he hangs in there. We do have 8 out of 8 teams. Really high ranking on the opposing teams. Not so much. A lot of them are quite close to us. 19th, that's not that high. Never mind. I take it back. I will be in this one instead of Campbell, which is probably not a good thing, as Campbell is a pretty good lead-out rider. Interesting profile set. We've got a couple teams with just 3 riders. We have a couple teams lower than us in the rankings, a couple teams very close to us in the rankings. Outside of one rider, and it's Kuzmin again at level 8, there really isn't a ton of competition here, and only a few sprinters competing for this one. The only thing is both of those 2 sprinters also have at least 1 point in flat. You'd figure they're probably going to be slightly favored unless we have something technical at the finish, as that's Howard's other point. It would be really nice to get him a flat point to go with what he has, but yeah, that's where we're at. We'll see how he does. You see Howard's not in the list of top 9 favorites at all, but I think there's zero reason that we shouldn't get into the top 10 as we did in the last race, but I think we should finish a little higher than we did last time, hopefully anyway. Let's go ahead and get to it. 361 nodes is all. It's going to go by pretty quickly. And so we're about 40% of the way into this race, and so far I've got one rider up front in Christopher Ward. And I was just thinking about it. Pavlov, even though he just hit level 2, Pavlov got a point in flat and is useful and is helpful, and at this point has more attack energy and more speed than my character does, and the breakaway is starting to get a sizable gap like I did last time. So I'm actually going to sacrifice my character and save Pavlov as our lead out guy for Howard. And see how that goes. My character's not going to get a high-end result as much as I want him to, so why not sacrifice him to put the work in? It's now Christopher Ward who will be taking over the lead out next time. Somebody's making a move forward, so that's good. That'll give us that. And still 2 riders right at the back, taking it easy. So Ward, yeah, we'll stay there for now. Meanwhile, my character's starting to come up and join the fray at the front. Up to this point, there's still no rider split off. We have a breakaway of 5, we have a peloton of 25, and we're not quite halfway. I'd say the breakaway is nearly there. Christopher Ward, it's going to be his turn to lead things out. And do I want my guys back to back? No, I don't want them back to back. I kind of want them spread out within the relay, but it's fine. Never mind. They'll be side by side for now as I join the back end of the relay. For the foreseeable future, the front 5 staying together, and I really feel like it's time we start pushing things out. Ward only has 4 attack energy left. We might as well just use it and start that pursuit. But where does that put us for the hill to come? Probably a good place, right? Not quite, actually. It's going to take more than 1 turn to get there, so save your energy for now. Just bring it a little further along anyway. Okay, still time to leave those 2 in the back, at least for a little bit longer. Here comes that hill. Breakaway, I'm assuming, are they going to be able to bypass it? Not all of them. It splits the brakes. That's good for us. The breakaway has split up over the huge jump to bypass the hill. I have a feeling that we might be seeing some sort of split here in just a moment ourselves. Potentially, based on where we're at. The slipstream should be enough, but you never know. Either we bridge that gap or we don't. We'll see how it goes. But those 2 now with a bit of an advantage, but a long distance to cover for just 2 riders. It looks like everybody's going to actually make it fairly easily over. Christopher Ward barely makes it, actually. That was his last attack point. Pavlov with that flat bonus doesn't even feel that one. Okay, Christopher Ward is done. Let's start to drop him back and just try to hang on as best he can. And not time to bring those 2 up yet, but we will start bringing them up, I think, on our next turn, just in case. We have plenty of flat rating. We just don't want to get caught out. So it's the 25 plus 1 breakaway rider. There's 2 breakaway riders that are nearly caught, and then 2 left off the front who still have a nice advantage, but with just 2 riders, they're going to burn through energy really fast. So Ward, continue to drop back and just try to survive. Use that slipstream as best you can. Howard's going to stay back there 1 more turn, but Pavlov is going to start squeezing his way forward. As we prepare towards the end. Okay. Looks like we've caught the 2 breakaway riders. Ooh, Pavlov and Howard are very much at the back. A lot of riders have been moving up now. So it's definitely time to come forward. So Ward, take all the bonus you can get. Pavlov, come forward. You can see just how many riders already have. Now Howard's starting to come forward. Have we come forward a little too late? Oh, big move for the break. And big move for the chase. Will some riders get caught out? So far, no. They all make it. We need a flat point for Howard. At some point. Or at least the energy bonus here. Max is so low. Word hanging on. That's why it's paying off to be at the very, very back of the group now. Alright, Pavlov has already made it to the front. That's good. I want Pavlov to work as a lead-out rider, so go ahead and come forward. And Howard now in the mix. And we're just hanging on at the back. Okay, we see an attack. Who can respond? I'm guessing not many. Ward can't. Ward can't follow. Just Howard. 10 riders go away. Howard makes it up there with them. He got in place just in time, just last turn. Or was it just this turn? Either way, it's what is necessary. And here I am leading this thing. Okay. Bunch of riders dropping off the front. Now see, I'm happy to control and force that move back because we've got a rider who's looking at a top 12 and 2 riders falling off as they chase him down. I could almost bridge that gap, but that's not going to get me to the finish. Let things fall off. Oh no! Pavlov can bridge the gap and so can some others. We'll get Pavlov up there. Not many followed my character. Christopher Ward can't go all the way, so he's stuck with that. And all of a sudden we're at 24! Back to 24 in contention. How did that happen? Pavlov working at the front immediately, going right to the front. Amazing how that happened when they came from behind, but okay. Howard. Okay, using 1 attack energy, maybe 2 attack energy. We could move up without adding attack energy. Yes, please. Thank you. Jonas Winter is probably a good one to follow. Okay, move it up the order. It's not quite gone according to plan, but we're in a good position right now. Pavlov. Oh, well, okay, it's Pavlov. It's Pavlov. Follow the move. There you go. Rider's starting to fall off. Howard can follow easily. No problem on that part. Except for a good strong sprint. My character, let's see, we don't want to go max, but we want to go close. Leaving the others behind. Howard's just going to have to, well, leave them in the dust. Why not? Do what you can. Pavlov right to the front, cannot relay. Not a terrible position to be in, though. Coming up on the finish line. The 2 are still away. How did that happen? 2 breaking for the line. Pavlov giving it everything he's got. This is as far as he can take it. But right now, positioned for 3rd, that's not going to hold because, yeah, you can see many riders pushing further. But Howard able to follow this move and should be able to move up a little bit. Howard for 2nd place? No, he's going to fall down, but 5th place for Howard. 5th place for Howard. All the attack energy I have left is probably going to be the best thing I could do for myself right now. Max move for both of them. 5th place for Howard. Not bad. Not bad. Didn't quite have a lot. Didn't have a lot left in the legs for the sprint at the end, but it was enough. For a little level 1 like Howard, that's an okay result. That's an okay result. They got a little bit of extra sprint there, but others had a little more left in the legs than they did. But yeah, 5th place is okay. 5th place, we're 75 points. That's a big jump. We got 0.8 as it was a sponsor focus. We gained 60 sponsor prestige points, which boosts us to 291 with 2 races to go. So we now just sit 23 points below the moderate threshold, below successful, not failure. So we're really close, and we're also just, 43 points from success. Awfully close now, especially considering how bad things were initially. Howard, top 5 with 13 riders left on that big push at the end, so getting 5 out of 13 on that sprint is, yeah, that's pretty okay. 2 races to go, 4 total stages remaining on the season. We'll see what we could do about points. That little 3-stage race, if we get after a podium or wearing a jersey for a day or two, that could really help us get those points we have left. But we're only going to get, half points on those last 2 races, as neither is a sponsor objective, so it's going to make it that much harder. We'll see. It's going to be tight. That does it for this one, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.